Okay, that should do it. Oh. I still hate this hair. Like, ridiculously. Is it that impossible to just go into a hairdresser's and say, cut to here, then just lighten? Why do they always have to leave me looking like a rejected Power Rangers helmet? I can pull it off. What's up guys, Joff26 here, and today I am doing a very special video because the Nintendo Switch just had a load of information dumped on it, and I'm going to apologise in advance if in this video I have to stop to look at my phone or anything like that. I'm uploading this one rough. I'm still working on a way to get the footage from my camera directly onto my iPad because that is my only editing system at the minute, because I brought a cheap second-hand laptop off Dylan. Thanks Dylan. That said, it's really cheap and he hasn't asked for the money yet, so thanks Dylan. Genuinely that time. Okay, let's get to the main stuff and the reason you're here. Nintendo Switch. First off, we've got an actual release date for it, having it been rumoured for, ironically, a year. Actually, I think it's coming out around the time that the rumours first started to get major, the 3rd of March. Which is also good for me because that is my birthday. So all my family members gave me a bit of money, I'd be able to buy one. That is, if my family members ever actually remembered my birthday. How could this happen to me? I can't edit in music. Just imagine this song playing now. This is just really sad, isn't it? Leave a like, please. Regardless, I'm back on topic. With the console, they revealed all the stuff you'll get with it. So you get the main console itself, which appears to be just the screen. You then get what they're calling the dock, which is where you stand it in, and that's what connects it to the TV, and obviously all the cables that come with that. I'm not going to list them by name because you know what cables are. We also get one controller set. Now I'm going to call it a controller set rather than a controller because it comes in those different modes. We've all seen it, it was being used as like a puppy dog face and all that kind of stuff. You've got that as a regular controller, then the 2 bits slide out, which can either be used as one two-handed controller attached to the Switch as make that whole thing one big controller, or be given to a second person and it becomes 2 controllers. So I'm just going to call it a controller set. They also announced that it will come in both standard black. You'll also be able to get a red and blue variant on launch, as in like one of them is red, one of them is blue. And then later on you can buy additional controllers in varying colours. Though at the minute it is just bled red, black and blue. I just merged 3 colours there and made something quite horrifying. So let's move on. With it there was a load of games announced, but I just want to talk about the presenting. Now take in mind, Nintendo hasn't done E3 properly for years now. They've always either done a Nintendo Direct, a live Treehouse, or whatever the Just going to warn now, there'll be swearing in this video because I can't hold it back. So if you don't mind swearing, then stay tuned, otherwise click off in 3, 2, 1. What the fuck was happening with E3 and Nintendo this year? Like, who thought it was a good idea? Let's do a whole week, but we only talk about one game, and we still don't actually confirm a release date, or actually say this is solidly what you'll be playing. Sorry, that just still irritates me to this day. E3 is a beautiful thing, and I am way off topic. With this stream, we got an interesting set of presenting. We had some people who were really passionate, some amazing visual effects, some really good characters, EA, and honestly, I think we have a new Unravel guy. If you remember 2 years back at E3, promise that's the last time I'm going to mention it. 2 years back, we had a little guy who came on, he talked about Unravel, he was holding like, I made this whilst on holiday. Hello. I just really want you to like my game. And the internet properly fell in love with him. Buy me tomorrow. But with this, what happened at... Go to the video yourself. I'm going to reference times from the Nintendo official channel that uploaded it. But obviously I was using the English one. / American. Whichever one it is. At 1 hour, 19 minutes, thereabouts, another translator came on. What had happened to him? I was generally concerned. I thought his wife had just phoned him before they started recording and said, "When you come home, the house is empty. I can't believe you would do that. I'm running off with Fernando, our gardener." Like, what happened to this poor bloke that he sounded like? Yeah, showed a visual. We've been working on this game for a while. Honestly, it sounds like me 2 years ago when I'd upload unedited videos. I feel sorry for the guy, but you can't help but laugh, can you? Anyway, let's get on to the reason we are mostly here. Because you know it's the gaming industry, so eventually, after everyone has done measuring computer bit sizes, someone's got to talk about games. So let's begin. I'm going to go through this chronologically, and for this I am going to need to whip out my phone. So I apologise if this looks unprofessional, but let's be honest, we have less than 100 subscribers. No one's come here for professionalism. Okay, first off we had 1-2 Switch, which honestly I am excited for. It looks really good, and all the time I was watching it I was thinking, I remember when I was a kid and I loved Wii Sports. And I saw Wii U Sports and thought, that's basically the same. And they've now made this, which is brand new, and it is brilliant. I'm absolutely looking forward to playing this. Second up, we had ARMS, which kind of reminded me of Po Tekken Tournament. And I'm not sure how I feel about it. Part of it looks really good. There isn't that many characters, but I guess they are probably just going to hold some stuff back until launch, or until they can release a full, like, trailer on its own, rather than just here it is as part of the bundle. Splatoon 2, honestly I'm surprised I didn't see it coming. I'll be honest, when Splatoon was being advertised, I thought it was just going to be an import, so saying, here's Splatoon, for those of you who don't know, here it is again. Because Nintendo have done that a lot. So at that point I did just go on my phone, check my Facebook, and then I looked back and it says Splatoon 2, and I was like, oh that's cool. Back to Facebook. Following that, we had a new Mario game, which has both really awesome elements and some really questionable stuff. Sorry about that. Generally I am sorry about that, I would edit that out, but you know. So moving on, we had the Mario game. I really like the new hat mechanic. I think that's genius. Why it's not been done yet surprised me. That it was one of those things that like you don't know you want it till you see it, and then it's all you've ever wanted. And yeah, it is perfect. And I love some elements of bringing it into the real world. I always like when games mess with their own canon. That said, why is Mario like a toddler? Like, you see people, assuming they're around my height, I'm pretty much average height if you've ever met me in person. Mario appeared to be like there. So what the heck is going on? Why is Mario toddler height in real life? Does that mean all the lanky jokes we've made about Waluigi? Because if you look at the height difference, Waluigi would be just about, maybe probably a bit taller than me, if he came to our world based off of this game. Is Waluigi actually human-sized and everyone else is tiny? Oh, this is getting too meta. Okay, moving on. Xenoblade 2 announced, looks awesome. If it hadn't been a Xenoblade game, I would have been saying, yep, buying that now, buying that now, buying that now. That said, I've never played a Xenoblade game, that not out of trying, it's just they've always been on consoles I've not owned. Same for God of War. All of them were on PlayStation 3, so I didn't get to play any of the proper ones. But I might play this, because this does look really cool. And then it got to the thing I am so pumped for. Fire Emblem Warriors. I have no idea what it is, but I want it. It is... I don't know. Could it be the app? Could it be a new game? It's got Warriors in the title. Could it be a Dynasty Warriors Fire Emblem game? That would be cool, but who knows what it is. But it's Fire Emblem, so I'm going to buy it. I wonder if people think this is how I sound when I talk about DC. We then got a load of Dragon Quest stuff, Dragon Quest 10 and 11, both coming to the Japanese Switch, which I would go on a rant about how that's irritating, but they've said that it is officially unregion locked. You'll be able to play every game from all around the world on your Nintendo Switch, which is really good, but it means we have to pay scouter prices for not living into Japan. I'm so used to saying US. Why is it not the Japan? Because it's the UK, the US. Perhaps it's only for like initials? No, because you get... Oh, that's confused me. I don't know geography. They also announced we'll be getting a Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2 collection, so that's going to be pretty good. It's nice to see that collections are leaking their way into Nintendo as well. We then have... Yeah, this bit I was unsure of. I'm going to quickly skip one game. There was a Square Enix game. I didn't get the name. It was one of their bizarre mix of words. I want to talk as a Kingdom Hearts fan, but it was a bizarre mix of words. And it's a 2D kind of papery looking, like meant to look like it's from an old scroll, which is kind of cool. RPG style thing. It wasn't very clear. I have no clue what the plot was, and honestly I've paired it with Dragon Quest because at first glance I thought, oh, that's an interesting new Dragon Quest game. Oh. See, this is what happens when I don't edit things. I get hairs in my mouth. I start coughing on camera. Yeah. Next thing you know, I'll be ill. Hi YouTube, this is me throwing up for 2 hours. Like a video would last that long. Okay, we had... I'm gonna mess up the name. I think it's Shin Megami Tensei. I might be completely off. The one that Persona is a spin-off of, that's getting a new game, and the graphics look amazing. Like, we've got a really good balance now where we're getting to see monsters in real life, but still have the animated look so they won't give us nightmares. It's really quite cool, and I might actually play this one. A lot of these games are sequels to old games, but in a new light, which I think is brilliant. I know a lot of people would prefer like a direct sequel to a game where it's showing you the characters again, but I do quite like this kind of thing where it's, here's all the things you liked about the previous game, but because those games are very hard to get, here's a new story with new characters set in the same world. I am quite a fan of that, really. I know a lot of people aren't, but there we go. Anyway, speaking about porting to new consoles, there are going to be a lot of ports from how it looked. There's a Skyrim, they did a whole section on that. They did like a flash of loads of bits. I saw things like Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, which is quite an odd game, but if they've got that, then it means they're going to get a lot of the major games coming across. Hopefully. I didn't see any Dishonored 2 or anything of that kind of level at the minute, but hopefully it's coming. If FIFA's coming, then surely it is. You see, this is what happens, people. We say, come on, just give us some of our favourite games on the Nintendo console so we only have to buy one console. And they're like, yeah, sure, we'll do that for you. Eventually, and they put it off and they put it off and we keep saying for it, and then they open the floodgates a bit, and of course the piranha swims right in. If you're a fan of sports games, good for you. Get them off my fucking console. Oh, so much hate, so little time. I'll go admit, it did end really well. We got an amazing look at Nintendo's Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That sentence has now become one of my favourites to say. I am not really a Zelda fan, in a way. It's one of those like middle tier where like there's the games you play, the games you know of, and the games you hate. And I know of Zelda, and I have played some Zeldas, but I have not beaten a Zelda or put much effort into a Zelda. It's that kind of middle, it's like a 4 out of 5 for me, with 5 being I've played it. This metaphor got very exhausted. I need to stop just randomly laughing, that makes it look like I'm sloppily editing. Whatever. Mine's gone blank. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Okay, honestly Breath of the Wild looked quite good fun. I'm loving all the characters, and as I said, as someone who knows of Zelda somewhat, I was able to see, wait, that's Goron King from Majora's Mask. Wait, is that Midna? That looks a lot like Midna. There's a lot of things that's very reminiscent of the previous games, and as someone who used to date someone who is a massive Zelda nut and told me bits which I kind of didn't recall till now, it looks like they're going to follow this up from, I'm not sure if it's Skyward Sword or one of the other ones that was like, this is the game that, it was the very first one and all the other stories originate from this game. It looks like this one is going to interfere a lot with that, as in like they're going to, there's a lot of stuff from that which is going to go into this. Like this is almost a sequel but not really. The Zelda timeline is just confusing, man. Anyone else find out or was that just me? Okay, and that brings us on to the final summary. Overall, I really quite like it. It was a good story. Good story? It was a good flow. We got some great games. We got some mediocre stuff. But generally, for a Nintendo Direct, it was pretty good. And to see the Switch in action, I am honestly really excited to play it. For those who don't know, there is a special event that might be happening with the Cage family in a certain place which is not any of our houses. I will keep the illusion alive for a little while longer, but I could definitely imagine keeping my PlayStation here and keeping a Nintendo Switch at that secondary neutral ground to just be PS4 is my home, that's where I play all the games that I want to play constantly, and Nintendo Switch is my takeaway, where it's one of the things I really enjoy, but I'll probably only play it in like short bursts or like when there's not many other options. That said, that makes it sound bad, but I am really pumped for this game. Console, and all the other games on it. Damn it, I stopped editing and legitimately everything just breaks down. At least I still have you. I still have it. This whole time I've just been thinking, I'm shooting a video, but I could be playing Final Fantasy. Wait, what the fuck is that? Get out of here. I could be playing Worlds of Final Fantasy. Ah, my child. It's okay. Nintendo won't touch you. Which is actually really sad. Play this game. If you don't buy a Nintendo Switch, play this game. If you buy a Nintendo Switch, play this game. If you don't like Final Fantasy, play this game. If you like Final Fantasy, play this game. I'm acting like it's a bloody paid sponsorship. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I am JoeWolf26. If you want to see more of my kind of stuff, I have a personal channel, JoeWolf26. There is absolutely nothing on it at the minute, besides from a failed abridged series and my old college work. But if you want to see Liam walking around in van shoes looking like an idiot, make sure to go check out my channel. On the counter side, stick here to Cage Corp, where we are going to be talking plenty about Nintendo. There is a podcast coming up. It was filmed way back in December, and that's us talking about our dreams games for the Switch. Excuse if we're a little off with some of these, but it's games we want to see, and it is still worth watching. So make sure you check out the Cage Casts. And on top of that, Liam is going to be doing some other rants soon. We've got some more videos lined up, and yeah. Stick around, because next video I'm going to work on is going to be comic book related. That is as soon as I finish the next Cage Cast. And maybe a DC TV video. And of course, as soon as I finish reading Justice League vs Suicide Squad, because this is actually really good. Like, legitimately. Holy shit, what the fuck is happening there? I accidentally just spoiled myself for something, but that looks dope as hell. And he's... okay, cut. I can't edit, so just like ignore all of this. Ignore all of this. Thank you for watching. Leave a like. Subscribe. Usual stuff.